Hey guys, so in the last lecture we talked about root file system and the home folder. Whenever you log into a machine, the first folder that you get logged into is your home directory. And right now, the current directory that you're working in, you can find that out by a command which is actually pretty sensible, but Unix uses these shortcuts which until you get used to them don't make much of sense. But anyways, it's present working directory, and basically that's the home area that we allocated for users, and Johnny Azad is my username. Now there is a way to find out which user I'm logged in as, and the command to do so is whoami. Okay, so now to make things a little simpler, now our host name. So when you log in to your Google VM, the prompt won't look like this dollar, but I just wanted to illustrate these whoami and host name just in case you don't have the prompt that looks like this. Okay, so by the way, clear is the command to clear the screen, and that prompt which Google made for us is Johnny Azad at Linux VM, and Linux VM is the name of the machine, and I am working in my home folder. Okay guys, now on this VM, alright, so I have already created some test folders for you guys to look at before we get into creating our own directories and stuff. I wanted to show you a command called cd, which is change directory, and before we can use that, let's look at how this structure looks like. So here the tree command, I'm using a tree command which just makes it really easy to visualize how our folders are organized. So music is the folder, notes is the folder, videos is the folder, and under them these mp3, txt and mp4 are files. So with cd you can navigate to these folders, while with ls you can list the contents of a folder. In this case we are in the home directory, that is /home/Johnny Azad, and I want to find out what is in this directory. So I have 3 directories, and there is a way to find out if it's a directory or a file, but right now just roll with me. So we have 3 directories here as the tree structure shows. So now I want to see what's inside the music folder, or I want to find out how to list the contents of the music folder. So I go inside the music folder, and now once I'm in the music folder I can see the contents of that directory. Okay, now we're going to talk about 2 special types of directories, or rather 2 special logical structures that we use in Linux to navigate the file systems. So one is called dot, and what dot refers to is the current directory. Okay, so when you say cd dot, you stay in the same folder, while cd dot dot refers to the parent folder. So right now our current directory is home Johnny Azad music. Now if we say cd dot dot, it will take us to the folder above that. Going to the other folder, cd notes, we do ls, and we see all those files that are part of that directory. Same way we can go back and go into videos, and we can see these contents. Okay, so now we're in the videos folders. This is ls-l. This is a separate this is the variation of the ls command, but right now don't worry about it. We will just use the regular ls command, and the current folder is videos. I'm going to create more folders in this directory, and I'm going to do, and to create folders the command is mkdir and Linux training. Now if you go less, the color coding on your GCP machine would come really handy. Back in our day we had to do this ourselves, but anyways, then mkdir AWS training and mkdir GCP training. Okay, so now I created 3 folders under the videos directory, and once again we can see that using the tree command, the blue ones are the folders, while the pink, or whichever color that is, those are the files. Okay, so now these are mp4 video files and we can't really read them. So let's create our first text file, and the easiest way to create a text file is using echo command. So echo first line in first file. Okay, when we do that, it does this. Now in Unix we have something called as a redirect operator, and all it's doing is the output of the command that we executed is going to send it to something, and that something I'm going to call first file.txt. Okay, so what this is going to do, echo is going to echo that first line in first file. The redirect operator is going to send it to first file.txt. So let's do ls again, and we have our first file. Okay, now the next command, we put contents into the first file and we want to see what the contents are, and the command to do that is cat. So I do not know how the cat, where the cat comes from, but that's the command. And then we say first file.txt, and there we go. We have created our first file, and the content of that file, our first line in the first file. Okay, so we want to add more lines into this file. So to do that, you have to use 2 direct operators, and what this does for the second line, in the first file. Okay, so now it should have gone into the first file.txt, and let's see what that file looks like. Okay, so it has first line in the first file, second line in first file. Now let's try to add third line, but this time I'm going to try to use that single operator once again. Okay, and now let's see what are the contents of the file. Only the third line in first file. So basically when you use one operator, it basically says flush the file, as in delete the content of the file, and then put in whatever I am giving you, while the double redirect operator says pen to the file, as in add that line to the end of the file. Okay, and the same way we can add the third line in that file as well. Okay, and cat first file.txt. So there you go, we just created our first file. Alright, so now the next command that I want to talk about is called touch, and what touch does is it creates an empty file. So touch empty.txt, and if you do cat empty.txt, there is absolutely nothing in it. Once again, you can do echo populating empty file, empty.txt, and what was I going to do? Oh, cat empty.txt, and these are the contents of your file. Okay, now moving on, let's first look at what all we have done so far. So we have 2 text files, we have 3 blue folders, and 2 mp4 files. So now let's say we want to copy that first file.txt and create another file, and the command to do that is cp, which is basically copy first file. And what do you want it to be copied as? So I'm going to just do second.txt. Okay, so now we have, looks better. So now we have 2 files, first file.txt and second.txt, and let's see, the contents of the first file are third line, second line, third line. Okay, and the contents of the second line are once again the same. Okay, now the mv command works, is the next command, but before we go to that, okay, so I'm covering a lot of commands, so you're going to have to practice all of it quite a few times before you move on to the next chapter. All right, so once again, now I'm going to look at my files again. So I have first file.txt, second.txt, empty folders, and now I'm going to go to the parent directory, and here I have it. So music has 4 files, notes has 5 files, videos has so these 2 look pretty nice and neat, while this kind of looks like a mess, right? So let's unmess it. So we are once again going to go into this structure. Okay, so empty.txt, first file.txt, second.txt, these look like examples to me, and so I'm going to put them in an examples directory. So first I'm going to create an example directory. Okay, and now I'm going to move the empty.txt into examples. Okay, and that slash is basically a good way, or like a more clear way to say that it's a directory, but even this works. Okay, and now once again let's do tree. So now you can see the empty.txt is now under the examples directory. Okay, so cd examples and ls, there is our one file. Okay, so now we have been working with dot and dot dot. So cd dot is representing the current directory, while dot dot is the parent directory, correct? So looking here, I cannot see what's in my parent, but we can use the mv, cp and all commands using composite paths, as in dot dot, and this will refer to we are inside examples, and the parent directory is the videos. So when I say dot dot, it actually is referring to videos. Okay, dot dot slash, and the next file we want to copy is first file.txt. Okay, and then the way we are going to tell it to copy it into this directory is by using the dot symbol. Okay, so I'm going to do this again for the second.txt, but we are going to use the full paths. Okay, so this is the full path where examples is, and this is the full path where videos is. Okay, and now from where we are, dot dot refers to this path, while dot refers to this path. Okay, so instead of using that command, I'm going to do mv, and the dot dot, I'm going to take this path slash. Okay, first of all, we have moved stuff, so I'm going to show you guys that. So once again, dot dot first file, the first file was outside and now it's inside this directory. Okay, the same. Okay, so now we're going to move the file the same way, but this time we are not going to use the dot dots. Okay, instead I'm going to use the full path, and then when I look at it, the only file left here is second.txt, and it's going to be moved into dot, which is this directory. And there we go, the third file is in here. Okay, once again we're going one level up, that is Johnny Azad videos. And if we look here now, I have moved these examples, all these text files into examples. Now I have MP4 files. So similar way, the present working directory is videos. Okay, so now this dot becomes this. Okay, but now I want to refer to a directory inside the dot, which is videos. Oh no, sorry, I'm going to go up one more level. So now the dot refers to present working directory, which is home Johnny Azad. Okay, and now I want to copy the file systems.mp4 into Linux training. Okay, so move, sorry, not copy. So the current directory, which is Jesus. Okay, I'm just gonna type it. My kids are I have said this way too many times, but it never gets old. But my kids have basically destroyed my laptop, so it just keeps doing weird stuff. Anyway, so home directory now. Let's look at the tree in this folder, and I'm going to clear. Well, not really much of a point in clearing that. Okay, so now I'm going to move the file systems.mp4 into Linux training. Okay, so the way I refer to that file, the current directory is /home Johnny Azad /videos /file systems.mp4. okay, and now at this point I can refer to this first part as dot /videos and then Linux training. All right, and let's see what did it do. So file system.mp4, which was outside, now is inside the Linux training directory. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing for the other mp4 file. Okay, so we covered whoami, pwd, cd, mkdir, rmdir, echo, touch, cat, cp, and mv. Alright guys, so I think this is going to be enough for you guys to practice on. Okay, we covered also the dot and the dot dot directory. So I'm gonna put this part in the description of this video, and I want you guys to just copy paste this as is, so you can get started where we started and then go through all the commands, create all kinds of folders, files. When you make a file, so when I make touch music.mp3, so in Linux there are no file extensions. Music.mp3 could be music.txt or music. Let me show you guys. Touch music.disco. So this is also just as valid of a name as music.mp3. There are no extension in the Linux file system. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you're going to create it as. Alright guys, hopefully everything in this video is clear. If it was not, please drop me a line so I can make any improvements that are needed. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.